Alright. Here. You can hear me a bit better. Never mind the burrito. So quick review, a little bit of Streets of Fire. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch the thing. I don't want it to fall. Um, Streets of Fire, subtitled A Rock and Roll, or entitled A Rock and Roll Fable. Now, the first time I've heard of Streets of Fire was back in. Oh, Jesus. Let's see, where is it again? Ah, yes. I heard a lot of other things. Megazone 2 3, Part 1. The second OVA to be released. The first being Moon Station Dalos. Now, love the commentary track. I listen to it like more times than I do the movie. And one of the things they talked about was Streets of Fire being one of the things the characters go and see. The movie they go and see in theater. Um, and so it, racking around in my brain for like 20 years. Remember, I got this movie, I got that DVD back in, I don't know, 2002 or something like that. It was like way back when. Um, well, yeah, most of the bulk of my stuff was beginning in 2001. I've been starting this anime collection. um, but not being an enthusiast since I was 2, so yeah. Um, yes, I'm drinking and coffee too, so trust me, it's alright. I'm trying to balance it out with food. Okay, so Streets of Fire is, when I saw first of the trailer a little while ago, like last week or something, it was not at all what I expected. It's very 80s. It's very grim and dark, much like Bubblegum and all that. That's the stuff that primarily happens mostly at night. Um, you have your standard characters, your archetypes, your villains, your heroes. Your kind of standard hero's journey ish. What I can understand is that someone is singing very, very well at a very big club, or club slash. It's like Moulin Rouge at the end, where it's like a club slash theater. Like, it is huge. Some bikers come in, that they call bombers. They kidnap the girl in this big, big, like, in a fight sequence, or more or less massacre on the middle of all this thing. They just snatch her right off the stage, beat up everybody, and then leave. And so I think it's his manager, who is the guy, was Lewis from Ghostbusters, or that hero guy from Little Shop of Horrors, the remake. He calls upon the lead character. I only saw it the one time, like 3 hours ago. I can't remember his name, but he's this brooding, overly brooding character. I mean, he just broods like crazy throughout this entire film. So he only has the one mode, which is brooding. So it's brooding and action. Okay, brooding and action is what he has. And so the manager, I'm guessing it's his manager, don't really state anything too much, but it's implied. The manager hires him, which is the toughest guy in town, or the city? It's cities, for crying out loud, but they call it towns, to go to the other town where the bombers are at and kidnap the girl. That's why it feels more like a fable, because it feels more like something like a western, or a Once Upon a Time, with knights and dragons and shit. That's what it feels like narratively. Anyway, so our hero, lack of a better term, I guess it's the anti-hero everyone keeps talking about, goes there and has the wholesome girl at home. This guy has girls all over the freaking place. He has the wholesome girl at home that stays behind. He has the sidekick girl who comes with him on this incredible journey. And then he has the girl he rescues. Okay? So it's like 3 different women in his life that are going on this little merry adventure. So he gets the girl, and the manager comes with him. He has to come with him. They go down there, they bust in, and they pick up the girl. They take her to try to take her back. You have to go through a cop roadblock. I don't know why the cops are blocking them. Eh, but the cops on a roadblock. They get past that. They ditch a couple of different vehicles, and then they make it back to the homestead. And he's all a hero who comes running. Oh, you saved us, like the princess or in a village or something. It's like all these people just come out of nowhere, and come running down the street waving. Oh, you found her! Congratulations! And he's back to epic brooding again. And the girls are saying, "Well, who is this girl?" It's like, that's my work friend. This is my social room, a buddy girl that I kind of date a little bit. So he has a girl he kind of dates, but then there's the girl he's going towards. Because what he wants, like every guy apparently wants, is to just not have to be tied down. It's like, yes, I don't want this to be defined. I'm going with you because I like you. Stop whining about it. It's like, well, what are we? Isn't there a name for this? It's like, just let it be, and it's fine. He's that guy. So he is kind of not necessarily bouncing back and forth, but he's like emotionally bouncing back and forth between these two women. Not necessarily the singer and the the homestead friend don't do very much with him socially. But the emotional back and forth. It's primarily bouncing back and forth as well as character, um, not arc, not even development, but like interaction with that third act kind of breakup is with the the sidekick girl, because they get each other. You know, we're not gonna name this. If we're gonna have a relationship, we'll just have a relationship. That's okay. When I say, well, where is this going, and why don't you refer to me as your girlfriend? Like, she's not asking for that. He just says, you want to hang out? Fine. You want to fuck sometimes? Fine. It's okay. This doesn't have to have a future where we go somewhere. Let's just live in the moment. It's where he wants to live. He wants to live in the moment. So that's the one he has the third act breakup with. The needless breakup. The third act breakup with. So she goes off in the rainstorm. He's there brooding because he's needlessly brooding. Ugh, that's brooding. And so, yeah, yeah, that's my stick right there. So after that, the bad guy, finding out who they are, because obviously he says, I'm calling you out. We'll see you here noon or whatever. Out on your doorstep or whatever at noon. So the cop says, get out of town, and I'll face him with my posse, basically, which is like 6 officers with shotguns. So the guy comes and then he blows a horn and brings in all his guys, and it's like, oh snap! Then the hero shows up as he was getting out of town, but then he was secretly coming back, and then he gets into a sledgehammer fight with the bad guy, and then he wins, and then the villains leave. And for a very, very, you know, heavy atmospheric 80s brooding story, it's very short because it doesn't feel like it really goes very far. It checks all the boxes. We got the explosives, we got the shootouts, we got the madcap chase at night going through 3 different vehicles and a cop barricade, holding people hostage. It surprisingly feels like it's only like an hour 10 with all the singing going on, because there are like 3 different, not musicals, but 3 different singing scenes. So with that, I say like it's an hour 10, and it really feels that way. It really does feel like a lot happens, but it's very, very short. And William Dafoe is still brilliant as a villain out there. William Dafoe is this guy in this film instead of being Florida Project. Yeah, this is his fucking Oscar-winning performance right here, folks. Not Florida Project. Trust me. Any idiot can be a manager, a hotel manager. You gotta bring something more to the table than just, you know, acting as a manager. Trust me. it's more of trying to lie to you. Because no, he's an Emmy-winning actor, William Dafoe, in this role, rather than, William Dafoe is in this, award-winning performance of, hotel manager. See the difference? It's changing the first two around, so it sounds like it's bigger than what it really is. They're getting more performance. No, you're just getting name recognition. He doesn't need to act more because the role doesn't require him to give more. Anyway, do I recommend Streets of Fire? I recommend it as a decent action flick and interesting um, piece of film, textbooky, type to watch and learn. It's like, because if your film feels like it's a little short, like it clicks all the boxes, maybe a scene needs to breathe a bit more. Maybe you need a bit more atmosphere, more shots of the street or the cafe before you cut to the closer up establishing shot of your hero brooding in the corner on the counter. Maybe stuff like that. You know, who's to really say? But yeah, if your film comes off, it feels like it's exact film length. That's kind of not really necessarily working in your favor. It's like an old classic Godzilla film. Those things would just go on, but you love them because, well, it's a Godzilla film. Um, so yes, Streets of Fire recommended technically and entertainmently. Excuse me, I gotta finish my dinner. I paid $25 for. It also got the burrito and the French toast plate. Been eating it off and on all day. All right, take care.